Welcome to this explainer. I want you to clear your mind and prepare for a very serious, highly dramatic, and deeply technical look at utensils. Yep, utensils. It sounds a little absurd, but starting with something this incredibly simple is going to unlock a massive problem in how we build software today.
First, the butter knife. Simple, harmless. It is perfectly designed for a piece of toast.
Then the table knife. A little more edge here. It gets everyday dinners handled without a fuss.
Now the butcher knife. We've got some weight now. Heavy steel for heavy jobs. You really got to respect it.
And finally, the chainsaw. Roaring, gas-guzzling, terrifying power. It will absolutely obliterate whatever is in front of it.
So, same category of tools, right? But completely different purposes. You respect the scale of the tool based on the scale of the job.
I want you to really visualize this for a second. Imagine firing up a massive 60cc chainsaw, oil spraying literally everywhere, deafening your neighbors, just to spread some butter on your morning bagel. Would you do it? No way. And conversely, you wouldn't walk out into a forest with a butter knife and try to chop down a giant redwood. It's completely absurd.
But here is the massive plot twist. In software development, we do this exact thing all the time. We confidently strut into the kitchen with a roaring chainsaw to make a sandwich, and then we stand around congratulating ourselves on how incredibly advanced our kitchen setup is. It's ridiculous, right? But if you've worked in tech, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Which brings us to Section 1, Hype over Logic.
Instead of suffering from what we call resume-driven development, picking shiny tools just because the coolest startup in Silicon Valley uses them, we really need the FOS One philosophy. It's breathtakingly simple. Use the right tool for the job, no more, no less. Strip away the ego, totally ignore the hype, and let's return to pure logic.
Let's dive into Section 2, the Architecture Armory.
So our butter knife represents low complexity. These are your simple scripts, your small, single-purpose tools, your quick fixes. When you have a tiny job, just grab the butter knife. It's perfectly suited for the task. It won't overcomplicate things, it won't break the system, and literally anyone can use it safely.
Next is the table knife. This is your balanced, everyday workhorse. In software, this is your standard CRUD web app. Create, read, update, delete. It handles the vast majority of normal daily business needs. It's reliable, it's easy to maintain, and it just gets the job done without any unnecessary drama.
Then we step up to the butcher knife. Now we're dealing with complex business systems, multi-module enterprise applications. These are heavier, they require real skill to wield, and yeah, they carry a lot more risk, but they're still strictly controlled monoliths, or well-defined modular systems. They're hefty, but they make sense for heavy corporate logic. And here is our chainsaw. Distributed systems, microservices at scale, high-throughput infrastructure. These architectures are wildly powerful. They can process millions of transactions a second and scale globally, but they're also highly dangerous if misused. They sprinkle complexity absolutely everywhere. You thought you had a bug? Well, in this system, the bug is laughing at you from an entirely different server in another time zone.
And here is the harsh truth. It's really the ultimate punchline of our whole industry. Most teams are dragging chainsaws into the kitchen when a table knife would do perfectly fine. We are spinning up Kubernetes clusters and 50 microservices to build an app that gets traffic equivalent to a local bakery. We are over-engineering our solutions into a state of total chaos.
Let's look at Section 3, the cost of overkill.
Look, every single extra, unnecessary tool you add acts as a massive tax on your team. It instantly spikes your complexity. It creates an endless nightmare of maintenance. Your cloud computing costs go right through the roof. And honestly, perhaps worst of all, it dramatically increases the cognitive load on your engineers. Instead of solving the user's actual problem, your team spends all day just trying to figure out how to turn the chainsaw on without losing a limb. Which leads us to Section 4, Fitness for Purpose.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is this. Good architecture is not about raw power. It's not about having the most complex, highly distributed system imaginable. People don't remember frameworks. They don't care about the hype. They remember clear mental models. They remember software that actually works because it was built with fitness for purpose in mind. I want to leave you with one simple rule to lock into your brain today. Right tool, right problem. Nothing extra. The next time you sit down to plan a project, ask yourself honestly, are you about to cut butter with a chainsaw?
Put the power tools down, grab the table knife, and build something that actually makes sense.